Oh, we're back in focus.
There we go.
Laser focus.
I forgot how to start it.
How are we doing, guys? This is another taste of Wing Wednesdays with this guy,
Adam Wing. And this guy,
Howard Wing. We did it the opposite way around for a change. That's put through you.
I've just because I've had a mind blank. I can't remember how I intro them.
Cheers, everybody.
Welcome back. How are we doing? Another
Welcome to the
episode
video.
of Wing Wednesdays. Getting some business advice with the help of the Maestro Howard. This week we're going to talk about workshops and investing in education and investing in yourself and all that kind of thing, because that's been pretty. I did a lot of that at the start, and I still do it now, to be honest. Because everyone you go to, even I've been on a couple last few weeks, and it's just fire in the belly. And
I think the point where you think you know everything is you've lost. You know, there's always more to learn. There's always different people, different techniques, and the world's evolving all the time. You know, as far as marketing goes. Yeah, without a doubt, always be moving forward, trying to learn new things, new styles,
if you're
techniques.
a beginner, the first one I did was the Philip White workshop, which probably a lot of these viewers will be familiar with. And I was a complete beginner, and I just took everything in like a sponge, and it completely shaped what I was doing on the video and the style and the editing kind of front. But even if you've been doing it for years, it's still, you might have got stagnated in your, without realising. You could go on one of these workshops and realise how sort of stale and laid back you've become. And
you kind of get complacent, imagine, because you guys, you'll get to a certain level and your films are like killing it, and you think, right, I'm going to stay here. It's all working fine, and you might be there for a few years, and then all these different new techniques and different styles have come in. New people have come into the scene, and you need to keep your eye on it. So definitely invest in yourself. Workshops, things like that nature are always good.
Someone that's been in it years comes and says, "Oh, these young people stealing all my work." I've had that comment.
Well, you just ignore it, don't you?
Yeah.
Listen, there's always going to be naysayers and haters in the world, and
Not
that's
stealing
fine.
all my work with your young, keen naivety and your selfies.
It's just the way that you interpret it,
There's always
because I've had people come in and copy me exactly and try and get every part of my singing act. Even my website and marketing, I've had people steal stuff from me, and which is fine, I take it as a compliment. But I never kind of rest on my laurels. I'm always looking to different things that I can add into my act, and I try and keep my act as secret as I possibly can. But it's always going to happen, so don't worry about it.
Which is why it's good to keep evolving, keep investing in yourself, keep looking for new ways to learn and new things to learn.
I think you guys in the video world have got it really lucky, because there's so much content online, on YouTube, on people's websites.
Especially in the last few years, it's been really inclusive with like things like the Wedding Film School and the Facebook groups and the communities of people chatting to each other and offering advice. And there's so many, like, photographers love a workshop, videographers love doing a workshop.
There's
loads of people doing it.
It's just the social aspect of it as well, going to these workshops.
Networking elements and...
I mean, every workshop you've been to, it must have included a piss up at the end of it.
always, yeah. Of course.
And what a great way to network and meet people, and also extend your sort of little circle with second shooters and things like that.
Jeff Wood workshop retreat, which was in Budapest a couple of years ago, and there was like 2 years ago last night.
Is this when you were all sharing the jacuzzis and stuff?
Yeah. So it was a whole weekend.
What's going on there?
It was like 3 days. There was probably about 12 hours worth of learning stuff, and the rest was partying, sharing naked hot tubs. But that's where I knew Stefan, but I got to know who else was there? Roland and the Lawsons, and obviously Steph and James Ray, and we formed a bit of a referral group, all from sharing this experience together.
So that just goes to show that you're not only learning new techniques and new sort of marketing strategies, you're actually developing your network around as well, and you're creating more friends within the industry. And you're all in the same boat, so it's a cool thing, And it sounds like you guys are all learning together, and you're all doing similar courses.
Because the best way to do it is to take on board whatever they're saying and pick out what you want to take for your own business. Because you should have your own kind of style, or as you go along, you develop your own style. So you don't want to like copy stuff word for word, but you can pick out what you think's relevant. And then when you are chatting to the other people that are there, it's interesting that you've picked out one thing and someone else picked out another thing and like didn't even consider what you thought was important.
Yeah.
And so it's having those discussions with each other.
Or maybe you were already doing it, and this other person wasn't doing it, and that's what they've learned. And I always say this, because you do go to a lot of I've done it in the past, the marketing courses. A lot of it is it's really repetitive. It can be sometimes the same thing over and over and again. But if you just get one thing out of it that's going to make a difference, then you've won. It's brilliant. And also with those, when I said they're always repeating themselves, but sometimes it's good to hear it because you might have heard it before, but you were implementing it,
and it only takes that one time for you to actually action on it. And that's the key thing, is to go to these workshops and actually take action and do something with them. Like what you say about one thing every day. It's like every wedding you go to, what can I be doing at that wedding that's new and I've not tried before? Because you do see, and I spoke to Phil about this, Phil White, and he gets loads of people just going to all his workshops, and he does the same workshop twice a year for the last 5 years, and he's got people repeatedly going on the same thing. It's
become like a bit of a social thing for the year.
Yeah, they're just like workshop junkies. But you've got to then take action from it.
I think that's really important because there's a statistic out there where there's like I don't know, 90% of the people buy a book and they won't read past the first chapter, So yeah, you got to make sure you're taking action on what you're learning, without a doubt. But try not to be overwhelmed with it, because sometimes there's that much going on. It gets too much and the brain gets overloaded, and you put it to the side. You don't do anything. But you can just be disciplined with yourself, just to take one piece of that information. Right, today I'm going to work on this. Do that, and then the next day work on something else.
You've got to do it straight away. Like the
chunking it is the one, isn't it?
Because if you leave it till the next, you've gone to a workshop, your head's buzzing, and then you're like, oh, I can't wait to get up tomorrow, but I'll just go to bed tonight. I'm tired, and I'll start it tomorrow. And then something else. Like the longer you put it off, the less likely you are to do it.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
So you've got to go home and implement it. Boom, there and then.
Do it, yeah. Or even just set little tasks with you, in your diary each week. Right. Tuesday at between 10 and 11, I'm going to do blah blah blah, and just kind of schedule it. And I always find that if you schedule something, you're 99% going to get it done, rather than if you just got a thought about it in your mind. So I always do. In my diary every week there's things. Schedule certain things. So I think that makes a difference without a doubt.
Have you
makes you do it?
Any workshops?
What I've done as far as workshops have been business marketing workshops. They've not been specifically wedding sort of orientated. They've just been general business.
Because they're not necessarily wedding videography specific, but the business advice is just as important, isn't it?
So what I found doing the business courses, a lot of what they were saying sort of transcends into the wedding world, and for any business really, at the end of the day, it is a business what you're doing. So learning all those different techniques, which I just brought over to my wedding world, seemed to work. The networking aspect, how to gain the social proof, how to structure a correct email, how to get meetings, all these different things that I learned.
All that kind of stuff.
Pricing, all that. It all came over to my wedding world, and yeah, it worked, without a doubt. So yeah, I went to. In fact, I'm actually featured on one. There's a guy called Chris Cardell, and he was like a marketing expert guy, and he had 5 or 6 other speakers. It was a weekend event, or a 2-day event, I think it was. And they interviewed me at the end, and I'm sure I'm still on his website on the first page interviewing years ago. I probably look 20 years younger than I do now. So I did that one. I went to see Richard Denny. Richard Denny is another sort of speaker, coach, business marketing coach. Very, very great guy, and an older guy, but so much knowledge, and very humble and appreciative of everything. And that's what he puts across in his courses, brilliant. What else have I done? Oh my God, so many. Anthony Robbins, a lot of his business talk.
Tony Robbins?
Yeah, Tony Robbins. And he had a CD set out. It was called, I think it was Influence, or How to Influence.
I remember you lending me that, like 5-disc set.
5 discs. Wow, so good. But because it's the Tony Robbins style, it wasn't just business techniques. It was like motivation involved at the same time. It was like buzzing.
Yoga type psychological stuff going on.
And I went to see him. I went to see Tony Robbins.
Mindfulness and all that.
Yeah. I followed that up with going to see him over in London on another sort of 2-day event with loads of other speakers. So that was really, really cool. So I think motivation and business techniques rolled into one is just a winner, give you that drive and give you that ambition, but make you realise why you want to do it. You know, set goals. Why is it a goal? You know, and then when you've got the big enough why, you can achieve anything without a doubt. Ooh, it's a bit deep. It's a bit deep.
Very deep. when your why is big enough. So in terms of there's conventional workshops, there's seminars, there's online courses, there's one-to-one mentoring. I'm trying to think like videographer, wedding in like from specific. I the Philip White course that he's not doing anymore, but I helped him out with the last one, and that was the last physical one he's doing. He's got other stuff coming out. But check him out. There's Jeff Wood.
Something coming from us at some point.
Are we? Is that? We're going to talk.
Who
about
knows?
That. I wasn't going to talk about that yet.
All right,
but maybe that's now the time to mention it.
Yeah, I think you know what. For me, right. If I
was
was starting out as a videographer, this is what I would do.
I offer the mentoring as well now.
Good for you. Yeah. So this is what I would do if I was a videographer. I'd look at the courses around, find the people whose work you love, see if they do courses, try and get involved with that. But I'd always try and get like a shadowing, one-to-one, second shooting. If people offer that in a course, I would do that instantly, because then you can see how somebody actually shoots a wedding on location. That is what I would do, without a doubt.
Yeah, going and second shooting someone from videographer's perspective is probably the quickest way to learn, because you're only going to learn how to shoot a wedding by actually shooting a wedding properly.
You learn it. Yeah, you learn by doing.
And especially like the way I've always learned is just actually having it in my hand and doing it, trying it myself, and that's the best way to learn for me.
Some people are theory, some people are practical. I'm more of the practical. I learn by doing. I think it's just the best way. But you can get a great combo of both. Great theory.
But you want people are offering. You want that side, but you also want the let's sit down in my office and I'll run you through the whole business, the approach,
the shooting techniques, all that sort of stuff,
and how to streamline stuff. And
so that's what I do.
I've never done them, but that's probably the way to go, especially if you're a beginner.
Did you second shoot for people at the start?
A second shot, yeah. Sorry, I've not done like a one-to-one mentoring jobby.
You shot for second shot of Stefan, did you, at the start?
Because
I put you in touch with Stefan at the start. I remember you did, didn't you?
And that was my first sort of 6 months, my first year in business, and I had second shot for Stefan, YSD Media, about 10 weddings. And most of them he came back saying, "What the fuck? Like what is this footage? I can't use any of it." And he told me off a fair few times and gave me feedback, which is great, because I was second shooting for him, giving him the footage. He was coming back with actual feedback on what I need to improve, what I need to work on. Perfect. And it was great experience just to get some weddings under my belt, and it was massive.
Yeah, definitely. It was really latch on to somebody.
And I'd never second shoot from him again, because he was too much of a tyrant.
Oh, Stefan's but it just goes to show, you learnt so much from being with him and going out, experiencing those weddings, for yourself. Because I think prior to that, you'd just been out with me doing freebies or really cheap gigs.
Did a few of my own, and then started properly doing them for Stefan, and that really gave me a flavour of like how it's properly done. Because well, I say properly, but like using the speeches and filming the ceremony and using multiple cameras and audio and all that. Because the first few I did for free was just one camera, and I was just running around handheld on a gimbal thing, not capturing audio. Didn't know a clue what I was doing.
They were okay, and this
right.
is the thing. That, you weren't charging a lot at the time, but the couples you did those weddings for, they really appreciated them. They loved them.
Invaluable memories for them in years to come, I hope.
Without a doubt, yeah. And wow, you've come on so much since then. It's incredible. It just goes to show, working with people like Stefan and getting on the workshops and being proactive to learn more makes so much a difference, because you've come so far in such a short space of time by doing these things. So. It's very, very, very important.
It's a combination of everything, but certainly all the elements that I've implemented, you can learn from the right workshop.
Absolutely.
Anything's
learnable, anything's learnable. I think you can teach it, but it's if they want to learn it, then they will. Anything can be taught if that person wants to learn it.
And be willing to take it on board and stuff. Because you've had it in the past where you've told people, giving people the right advice, and It happens on here. Try and give people advice and.
Yeah, I mean, I've done mentorships with people within my industry, it's the singing entertainment world, and
you've got to take it on board.
Loads of different times.
Of course, it works.
And I've kind of watched what they've done, the progression. You know, one or two have been brilliant. Yes, they followed things really well. Others have just like not done anything, or they've done something. I'm like, I didn't say do that. Why are you doing that? And you know, it's so you're never going to get everybody doing everything that you say, but the point is,
got to find their own way, haven't they? I suppose.
Yeah, the point is just be open-minded and take that advice on, and learn from the best or the people that you sort of regard as the best, because they're the best for a reason. That's where they've got there, you know. So take the advice, without a doubt. Yeah, I feel like it's wrapping it up a little bit. Is it right?
Yeah, that's nice way to wrap up. It's probably aimed more at beginners, but if you've been doing it years and you're a subscriber of this channel, then it's still worth it for you as well, because it can radically change your game if you have been doing it for a little bit too long, maybe, or you're feeling complacent.
Yeah. Well, you for instance, your weddings are like sick. They're amazing. You still went on a course last week and you learnt something different. You came back and said, "Oh, wow, I've learnt this." So you can always learn something, you know. So yeah, cool.
So yeah, I was trying to think. I've been a bit rubbish. I've had a brain fart today. I can't think of many off the top of my head. But leave a thing in the comments and I'll recommend workshops. Like I say, I do the mentoring, which I don't want it to sound like a shameless plug now.
Well, 1999, you get an hour of mentoring.
Here's an episode.
It's not 1999, by the way.
Here's an episode recommending workshops, and by the way, I do. No, but
why not?
They're invaluable.
Why
I
not?
offer it if you want to, kind of have a look at the way I do things, and we've got other stuff in the pipeline and other stuff coming in the new year. So, and now is the time of year to do it as well, because it's quiet season. So this is where you should be investing in learning and honing your craft and all that kind of stuff.
Because what you may find, obviously, when the summer kicks in, the spring or summer, your head's down and you come up at the end of September, you know, because you're constantly working, editing and doing stuff. But the quieter months of the year, if you got all your edits out of the way, then you've got a bit of time to kind of focus, get all your ducks in a row and get on with it. So this time of year, great for learning. The start of next year, it's going to be great for learning.
I love this time of year because I work on my website, work on my films, and I've got a big list of things that I want to do over the winter. So it's a great time to do that because you can do it uninterrupted. So get off Netflix and Christmas and get
schedule, implement, take action, and you'll get there, guys.
And
right,
we'll see you in the next one.
Don't forget, we need topics to talk about. Please leave the comments below.
There's always business advice.
Anything important, business advice or film advice. This man will come on, hop on, do it on a Friday maybe, which you have been doing. But business stuff, yeah. Let us know, guys. Let us know, and we can we'll make.
We don't
videos.
want this to be just aimless waffle. We want to be giving you what you want to hear. So, comment and well,
that's it. I
don't know what's wrong with me today.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Wing Wednesday.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.